Thank you, guys. Now it's great to be in front of an Adelaide crowd. Now most of you, I know a number of, a fair proportion of the audience, and you know me as a tax lawyer. You'll be pleased to know today that I'll be talking about zero tax. Except I can see a couple of tax lawyers and you're probably going, damn it! Which is going to be interesting. So what I'm going to talk today instead is about overcoming a problem we have as lawyers. See, as lawyers, the one thing that limits us is our time. We bill by the hour, we do work by the hour, we have a certain capability and things that we can do and are limited. We can't just have a program that repeats what we do infinitely. That would be artificial intelligence. That's the promise. That's where things are going. And what I say is that what I'd like to build with Ailira is something in which we can scale the law. This is the world's first law firm without lawyers. This is how you scale the law. It looks like a general law firm. And in it is powered by Ailira. So let's talk about Ailira. Ailira does a couple of things. We're going to talk about Ailira's consumer version first. So first of all, what is it that lawyers care about more than anything else? Does anyone want to volunteer? What do lawyers care about?
Being right.
Being right? No? No? Anyone else? Come on, guys. You're lawyers. You just yell out. No? No, nothing. No one cares. Lawyers care about nothing. I would say that's pretty rough. It's not fees. It's about not screwing up. You see, in a career of 40, 50 years, one screw up is ending. And we shouldn't change that. But the problem is that for clients, they've got competing interests. You know, they're spending money on sales, marketing, and HR, and other types of compliance, and they have a multitude of issues, and of which law is but one. And so when we say we need to do something to 99.9%, the client says, what about 80%? We really can't. There's where there's always be a push on lawyers to do things cheaper and less good, because that fits the client's risk profile, except for bet the farm litigations, but doesn't fit the lawyer. So what you can do is you can flip the model. You can say, here, client, I'm going to get you to do things yourself to the extent that you wish to do this. And as a lawyer, I will do my 99.9%, my absolute best effort on a much more limited piece. So, for example, if someone says, I want you to draw a contract for me, get the client to draw most of it, and then you just advise on a particular piece. So what a lawyer can, so the lawyer is looking after their long tail risks, something terrible happening, and the client is looking at their more average, ordinary distribution. So how we do this is we must empower the client to make decisions themselves. We must give them all the free information that they can so that they can do it themselves. And so the way of doing this is being able to ask free questions. So Ailira is a chatbot. This is the consumer version. She can, and the key part of this is that when lawyers get stuck, or when clients get stuck, they can ask her questions. I don't need to open up a textbook somewhere, because I know that as a tax lawyer, every piece of information that I possess is available on Google for free. But in the case of someone needs to condense this, this is what AI does. You can condense this so you can ask a singular question. And this means by teaching an AI some law, then it can repeat this to the client. And that enables them to generate things at a much lower cost, and then they can get you to do the high value piece on a much more narrow scope. So, what can Ailira do at the moment? Okay, she can generate wills, trusts, companies, advise on business structures, and I'll show you next our latest beta, which is to assist victims of domestic violence. Ultimately, this is about humans working with lawyers, humans working with AI. So here we have family in the law firm without lawyers. Again, it looks like an ordinary legal office, but instead where the lawyer sits, there's just a computer. So here we have a family that's come in while they're doing their shopping, between getting some milk, and they have gone and done their wills. They've generated them, printed them off, signed them, done. Now, Ailira will review these to see if this is complex. If it's complex, we're going to say we need you to sit down with a lawyer. And we've taken all of these simple instructions, and a lawyer will now advise you on something more advanced. For a lot of things, though, people just have a really simple part of life. And where we will bring access to justice for is for the missing middle, the people who have some modicum of income such that they can't get legal aid, but are not wealthy enough to be able to spend the large amounts of money on lawyers that we would like. Ultimately, this means that we can reduce legal costs by about 70%, 75%, sort of on average. Now, ultimately, we have a human there. This guy works for me. He just watches over things, make sure that they sit in front of a computer, don't steal it, don't do anything that's, stupid. Doesn't give legal advice, but if they want to speak to a lawyer, we can arrange this. Now we can arrange this, we work in partnership with a number of law firms. So of course when you're saying, why are we here at a demo day? It's like, well, because we can say that we can put Ailira on the front of the website, or we can capture an area of law that you know and automate it such that you can generate money and scale your expertise. Now, the next one I would ask is some people either stop filming or do not take photos of the next slide. So I'm going to talk about domestic violence. So this is a secret app that we've created. We're currently in beta testing, and we're working with Victim Support Services, Domestic Violence, Court Assistance Authority, a number of other domestic violence organizations. And what we're doing is, and this should play, you just press play on there, and I'll show you how it works. So one of the problems with domestic violence is that the victim has every electronic device they have controlled by the perpetrator. So if they wanted to do something, they can't just Google it. So what we have done is we have hidden an app behind an innocuous daily puppy ratings. It just rates puppies. It's quite simple and friendly, and could be on their phone for any number of reasons. But in there we can log incidents, use those to automatically create, and we have obviously a few levels of password protection, to automatically create intervention orders, the affidavits that go along with that, take a whole stream of consciousness and turn it into something that is useful. So one, they can then take this to, say, Domestic Violence Court Assistance Authority, and then and have cut down their time by a huge amount. Two, they could just lodge it, because at the moment a number of women each year lodge these documents, and it's they've just handwritten it on a small form about this big before they go into court. So this is what we do. This is on a charitable basis. Now I'm going to switch now. As a final slide, I'm going to talk about what Ailira does in tax research. So you see that Ailira has beaten an AI on ABC's AI race. This is for lawyers. And so what Ailira's tax research does, we can take huge amounts of unstructured data, such as client files for litigating, or here we have a whole bunch of tax private rulings and other rulings. You can search through them. Here we've asked a simple question: if a non-profit provides a bottle of wine to volunteer, is the gift subject to fringe benefit tax? Ailira has found within millions of documents this specific answer, and it's not an FBT benefit. So instead of having to read through hundreds of pages of things, we go straight to the answer. This means that we can unlock otherwise inaccessible intellectual property and reduce unbillable research time. Thank you very much. Any questions?
It's
terms of embedding these on, say, law firm website, what does that process look like?
We take a piece of code, and assuming you're using like WordPress or Wix or something, you just insert that JavaScript in there. We can either monitor the back end ourselves, or we can hand that over for you guys to control. That's done.
Thank you, Adrian.